Darth Paradigm? You see Darth Paradigm? Anyway, so, do you remember this? I unboxed this a little while ago. This was a saber that Gray Paladin had received in a Boneyard from Saberforge. And it actually had a functioning soundboard in it from Nigon Electronics Company, and they're a defunct soundboard company. Now, unfortunately, I can't access the soundboard to find out exactly which model it is. It could be a Spark, it could be any of a myriad different names of soundboards. However, I could get the micro SD card out and modify a few of the sound fonts. I bought a legacy sound font package from KSith, which is compatible with these older boards that don't have that don't come equipped with smooth swing, unfortunately. But they do pack a lot of different features, and only 2 of the sound fonts work. There's 6 sound fonts on here. 4 of them, well, I think there's 6 anyway. There's something like 4 which are default sound fonts that came with the board, and then I have 2 that are put on here. One's called Malice, and the other one is the older version of Supreme Leader. And when Gray Paladin received this saber, the pommel was missing. There was no pommel. So he substituted with a shallow pommel, which was sufficient enough, but I felt as though I wanted to get a proper pommel on here. Now, the pommel that comes equipped on the Sinister Prophecy is the same as the pommel on the Venom. However, this is a Sinister Prophecy 1. The Sinister Prophecy 2 has a different pommel. Essentially, what they did was they cut off right here, right? This whole section is off, and the pommel threads through this section and into the newer version of the hilt, whereas this is all just kind of one piece. And this came to me all glued together. Unfortunately, I ordered, I should back up, I ordered a Sinister Prophecy Mark II pommel from Saberforge, and when that arrived, it was a 2-piece construction, but they glued it together. So I soaked it in acetone. And that loosened up the glue. I was able to get this portion out, cleaned off all the rest of the glue bits, and I was able to screw this back in. And now I have an accurate pommel that fairly matches the finish on this. This is, of course, one of the older Saberforge weathered finishes, where it's just kind of, I don't know what they do, they just kind of take a belt sander to it, and it's not the greatest finish, but I plan on doing some work on this at some point to make it look a little bit more natural. So let me give you some close-ups of this. So starting at the emitter, you can see we have a angled emitter with a nice sharp cutaway, not terribly sharp, not enough to injure yourself, not like some of the other cutaways on this hilt, namely this. Cutaway exposes some really cool windows, and there's your set screw in the middle, but I had to get in there with a Dremel, and to the best of my ability, and I'm not very good with a Dremel. You can see the slip points there. Yeah, I suck. I freely admit it. But I did round out those edges because I really had to, because it's the main choke point right here, right before this little Suba type of thing. That was a blemish that was already on the hilt, probably why it was a boneyard. And here's the other set of windows. So as you can see, it's about 5 inches deep. So getting a blade plug for this thing would be really interesting. It's a very deep area for your blade there. And see, I'm just noticing this now. It's a little bit of a area here where there's it seems like they probably screw together, like right there. They've been glued into place, hopefully. Moving along. We have another pair of set screws. We have 2 of them. Sorry about that. Blade slipped. And those set screws undoubtedly hold the LED in place. And there's your switches. The one on the left is your main switch. The one on the right is the auxiliary switch. And they function like blinkies, which I'll show you when I demo the soundboard. And you've got yourself a nice little recharge port slash blade plug for said, kill key for said recharge port. And then moving along to the Covertec wheel. And this is just a screw for aesthetic purposes. Aesthetic purposes. It's a very, very nice screw. And here's the pommel, of which I spoke. And the pommel has an insert. If I can get in there. Let you see it. Probably not. Lighting's not very great. And that's the Sinister Prophecy Mk. This came with a very interesting set of LEDs, and I will show you them right now. I think it's probably a red, yellow, or some variation thereof. It allows for the saber to produce 3 different colors, which you can toggle from by holding the hilt level to the ground and kind of giving a slow 90-degree turn while the saber's on, which I'll demo in a minute. And I can toggle between red and yellow and orange, independent of what sound font it's on. And as you can see, the saber puts itself into deep sleep mode. It'll be blinking for a little while, then it puts itself into deep sleep mode. But it'll retain the sound font that's chosen and the color that's chosen until you put the kill key in, and then it resets to the defaults, which is red. And in this case, the sound font is Menace. And I also have Supreme Leader. Those came from the K-Sith Legacy sound font collection. Those are the only 2 that seem to be compatible with the soundboard that's on here. Unfortunately, as I may have indicated earlier, I don't know exactly what soundboard this has from NEC, Nigon Electronics Company, because I can't gain access to the soundboard to read on the soundboard what model it is. So it could be just about anything. And that about sums that up. So you see the blinkies. Now we have, of course, swings. It will clash very easily, as you can see. It's a very flighty board. It tends to do exactly what it wants to do. And blaster deflect. And by holding the auxiliary button, it goes into lockup mode. And it stays on lockup mode until you hit the auxiliary key again. You also have clashes. There's a stab feature as well. And that pretty much sums up that. This change from sound font to sound font, you hold the auxiliary key.
Darkness rises and light to meet it. 5
And you just tap through.
Essence, menace, darkness.
till you get to the sound font that you want. Then you hold the auxiliary key. Whoop.
Font acid. Menace. Darkness. Right. Hold. Font acid. Menace. Darkness.
I guess you need to let the
rises.
boot
Light.
finish.
Meet it.
There you go. Now to change color, you just hold this horizontal and turn it. And it changes to yellow or orange. It wanted to do that on its own. It's an interesting feature. A little bit unpredictable. Sometimes when you're swinging, it'll change colors on you, but it's a very nice orange. And that's the soundboard in a nutshell.
So anyway, I purchased the saber from Gray Paladin because it was a very interesting piece to me, and he gave me a good price on it.